This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. You can download the Kern Radio app to your smart device and take us anywhere you go for the rest of your summer, however much long is left of it. And you can find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look up Kern Radio and streaming live on YouTube. That's right. Head over to YouTube right now. Search up Kern Radio, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you can watch us in all of our glory from the Kern Radio studios. Our studios, powered by Adaptive Networks. For your IT needs, call them 661-241-0638. That's 661-241-0638. It is Adaptive Networks. And welcome to the JR Show. We got a great one lined up for you. We do, I promise, as soon as I catch my breath. I was running down the hallway. I had to rush and go and pick up my daughter from volleyball camp. One more camp, Chris, and then we're done. One more camp. We're going to make it. We're going to survive summer. And I didn't even realize 2 weeks from today, we will be returning to school. I'm sorry. I failed you, parents. I didn't remind you in adequate time to begin your back to school shopping. But there's still time and there might still be supplies left. And next week, we'll talk to, hopefully, I'm working on getting like a child psychologist, someone that works with kids on Wednesday. And we'll talk about the pressures and stuff like that of going back to school for kids and psychologically what they go through and everything. The stuff that's good for your kids, just to help with them adjust to anything new that might be coming at them this year as they enter a new grade, maybe a new school. All those kinds of things are going to be taking place in the next 2 weeks. Ready or not, summer's over, school has begun. The thing I'm welcoming the most is routine, because again, I had a camp this week. The past 4 weeks, it was theater camp, and that ran from, what was that, 3 to 6, I think it was, in the afternoon. I can't even remember anymore. The beginning of summer, she had a different camp. That one ran from 10 to noon or something like that. And now she's got this volleyball camp down at school, and that one's 11 to 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I just get back on some sort of regular routine, please? And that's the thing that I am looking forward to the most in 2 weeks, is that we'll have to get up every morning at a certain time. You'll have to be at school every morning at a certain time, which means dad can get to work at a certain time. Don't have to pick you up until the end of the day. Everything is in order and back how it's supposed to be. Just got to survive this last 2 weeks, parents. We're almost to the finish line. And I always act like I'm ready for summer.
I think everybody's always ready for summer.
We're ready for the idea of summer, exactly. I think. But when it breaks down, at least for parents, I think it's harder on us with the kids being out of school.
That's fair.
And having different schedules and different camps and needing to go here and there and that. Is like, man, routine. That's all I need is routine. We do have a guest today. Mr. Jim Wheeler is going to stop by. He is with Flood Ministries. Yesterday, we spoke about the homeless committee meeting that they had yesterday afternoon and some of the numbers that came out of that. Not only the numbers, but just what they were saying as far as how many people they were denying services, denying a bed. Apparently, we don't have enough space still in Bakersfield. I'll ask Mr. Wheeler about that. And for me, it's like, again, do we have the beds? It's just who is in the beds and who is. We just have to be. We just as hard it is to face those realities. We just have to speak truths and say, are the people that deserve those beds in those beds? Do you feel what I'm saying? And we'll talk to Mr. Jim Wheeler about that coming up in the 1:30 hour. Then we'll talk some local news stuff going on. And then I think Ralph was talking about it yesterday, the new memoir of the governor, California Governor Gavin Newsom's. It was his one-time campaign manager's wife that he had an affair with. She has put out a new book, and it's kind of, I guess, in response to, he put out a memoir or something like that, and he just kind of brushed it off as like, it was just a little thing. I was single at the time, and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And he's like, oh, really? Well, here's my side of the story, and she's put that out. We'll discuss some of that and whether or not it actually has an effect on Newsom's run for the presidency in 2 years, which will start just as the midterms end. You guys do realize that, right? We're going to be into political season here in about a month, and it's not going to stop for the next 2 years.
Yuck.
I'm just being real, because right after the midterms, all you're going to hear about is this person running for president? Is this person running for president? Who's going to replace Donald Trump as a Republican president? Who's going to be the guy? Who are the Democrats running? Is it going to be Kamala? Is it going to be Gavin? Is it going to be Buttigieg? Is it going to be blah, 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 blah? And that's all we're going to hear. Right now, it's going to be, can the Democrats take back the House? Will Republican senators keep dying? No, I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. Sorry, Mitch. They buried him already, right? It's not too soon then, I guess. Let's go ahead and take an early break. When we come back, I'll talk about some local issues going on. Vehicle thefts, apparently, according to Governor Newsom, are down in Kern County. I'll still give you, they might be down, but I'll give you the staggering facts of still how many vehicles are stolen every single year in Kern County. It's ridiculous. I'm surprised that my car hasn't been stolen. I shouldn't say this. From time to time, I'll leave my car running and just run into something. Do it at the house. I'll leave the garage and just run in real quick as the car's warming up. You shouldn't do it. I'm guilty, but you shouldn't do it. I'll tell you why, because there are still, even though it's down, a lot of vehicles being stolen in Kern County over the last couple of years and continuing. I'll tell you also about the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday, what they discussed as far as poop goes. Speaking of a crappy situation, did you guys hear what happened at Disneyland yesterday? Woo! Missed that one by the seat of my pants.
It's a very crappy situation.
It was a very crappy situation. We're going to use all the puns we can in this one, guys. Just stay tuned.
People were definitely praying to the porcelain gods.
Yes. That's something. We need relief, please.
We did.
I'll explain why. And then I'll also tell you after the break what former Kern County District Attorney Ed Jagels blew his alcohol allegedly. Let me say allegedly. According to court documents. That's how you stay out of trouble, Chris. That's anything I've learned. You always say allegedly or according to court documents. Hopefully that works. Management doesn't have to put up the disclaimer anymore. And we'll also talk to Jim Wheeler about those homeless stats we heard about in yesterday's committee meeting. All that coming up. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
Oh, it is. On the Thursday of the First Look program, the triumphant return of Dr. Corey Gonzalez, and let's be honest, it mostly means burritos, but also some form of mental health care. We will have news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
I'm John Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
And I'm Jonathan Busby with Team Busby Real Estate.
We just wanted to talk with you about what we do as a team. We do a great job for our clients. Some of the things that we do is when we represent sellers, we don't just put the transaction together. We do our homework and we check their FICO score, source of funds, where the money's coming from, and the job stability. because what we don't want is to get you into an escrow and the escrow falls out because we didn't do our homework.
With any sort of real estate need that you have, we can accommodate, whether it's residential, commercial, land, or multi-units. We have experience in all and can help you to a successful close.
The background that we have is I was a lender for 5 years. And so I learned quite a bit as far as how to keep a transaction together. We don't just put it together and hope that it closes escrow. Nothing's 100%, but we do stack it in your favor.
With any needs or questions with real estate, give us a call at 661-410-7355 or visit our website at www.teambusby.com.
Are you a business owner? Let me ask you a question. How many times have you called your IT company and felt like just another ticket number? Well, at Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just a promise, it's how they do business every single day. When you call, you'll always talk to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problems. No phone trees, no runaround, no attitude. Their team doesn't just fix your technical issues either, they take the time to explain what happened and how to prevent it in the future. Because great customer service means making sure you're not just satisfied, but you're taken care of. From the moment you become a client, you'll experience the difference that comes with working with a company that puts customer service first. So are you ready to experience IT support the way it should be? Then call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638 or visit adaptive-net.com today. That's Adaptive Networks, where great technology meets even greater customer service.
In Kern County, valley fever affects more than 3,000 people each year. But together, we can change that. Join Kern County Public Health as a Valley Fever ambassador. You don't need medical experience, just a willingness to help your community stay informed. Neighbors sharing with neighbors. Coworkers looking out for each other. Be part of the solution by signing up for a 30-minute virtual training. Visit KernPublicHealth.com to learn more.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey. You're listening to the JR Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. Keep it locked. TRBS coming up at 3.
Welcome back. I went down there with my Houchin cup, Chris, and I left my water down. I'm like, what the heck? I went down there purposely with my cup to fill up my water. I filled it up. I got it filled up and put ice, water, set it down on my desk and picked something else up and walked back down here and forgot my Houchin water. Forgot my water right there in my Houchin cup. Speaking of Houchin, I got my Houchin shirt on. It's Wednesday, so we wear pink on Wednesdays. My pink Houchin shirt. I was in there on Monday, actually, giving some more platelets, as they are always in need of those. And I ran into a listener. I sat there for I don't know. I'm usually in there for about an hour on the chair, about an hour and a half. And about halfway through, not even halfway through, 30 minutes in, another lady walks in and they sit her to the right of me, down a ways a little bit. And I talk to the staff a lot. I joke around a lot. I like to just have a good time and just make people laugh and stuff like that. And I know all the ladies that work inside of Houchin now. They're all very nice. And so they know who I am, and I can joke with them a lot. And so I was doing that. And as she finished, before I did, giving her platelets, one of the gals that was at Houchin started giving me a hard time, and then she kind of walked away. And then the lady walks over and she's like, "Excuse me." Yeah. She's like, "Are you JR from the radio station?" It's like, "Oh yeah. It's like, I just wanted to say, I was like, and I always enjoy when listeners come up and say hello. So hi, Marianne. Thank you for your donation to Houchin that day. It was very nice meeting you. And then Marianne walked away, and then the Houchin lady looks back at me like, "You're not a big deal." I know I'm not a big deal. Kind of a big deal. So if you guys get a chance, go into Houchin and help out whenever you can. They've always got wonderful. I got another pizza, Chris. They've given out this. I think it's still through the month of July, so you still got a couple more days. They give out the free personal Rusty's pizzas.
Can't go wrong.
Cannot go wrong. And this week they do the free Pazookies.
Ooh.
From BJ. So you get the combo. You can get the free, and it's not choose one, you get them both.
Ooh.
So you could go down, get the pizza from Rusty's, eat it, and then go over to BJ's and just get the Pazookie. And as a matter of fact, I think me and my daughter are having pizza tonight. I think about it.
I'm about to say that's a good date idea. Go get personal pizzas for the two of you.
Yeah, and then some Pazookies. Done deal. Plus, I got my $50 e-gift card. Apply it to whatever I want. That's how we just got it free into Disneyland.
God, I gotta start going and doing this.
I mean, not free. Some people will say it cost an arm and a leg. It only cost me about 3 bags of platelets per visit times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 15 bags of platelets. That's all it cost. Not an arm and a leg. But if you were at Disneyland yesterday, boy, were you stuck in the
Trenches?
yes.
Off?
Yes. All of the above. Apparently, Anaheim had a little issue with water pressure yesterday, and it shut down all of the restrooms in Disneyland and surrounding areas. Also, what did it say? Angel Stadium was also affected. I believe downtown Anaheim was also affected.
That's wild.
The college, I believe, was also affected a little bit. All the hotels in the surrounding area of the resort district were affected. They were having an issue of because, and I think I do have the story right here. Let me not try to guess. Let me actually give you the facts. They pull water from a river, from the Colorado River. About 75% of Anaheim's water comes from groundwater wells, and the other 25% comes from the Colorado River. And they were unable to draw from those particular wells. Others were working fine, and they were able to utilize water from the Kern River. But they had to, in the meantime, while they were having issues, they had to literally close down the poopers. There was no restrooms, and some of the restaurants apparently even were affected. And I don't know where people started going. And it lasted, I heard it lasted until the evenings, until some restrooms started to open back up. And there was lines you can imagine. Some people were understanding of the issues and tried to cut Disney some slack, realizing that it wasn't Disneyland's fault. Others were like, dude, I'm about to go in the bush over here. I mean, you can always do like, you went to Camp Keep, right, Chris? And what did they tell you over there at Camp Keep?
Scat. Makes the world go round.
Yeah, but like when we were there, and I mean, and that was, I'm sorry, 30.
Don't put a number on it. Don't you put a number on it. If you put a number on yours, I'm going to put one on mine, and I'm not going to like it.
I'm trying to think when I was in 6th grade.
Chris. I think it was 20 years ago this year, actually, now I think about it.
It's way back there for me.
I'm almost positive it was 2006 for me.
How old are you when you're in 6th grade? Well, my daughter's in
11.
11 is about the right age. She's 9. She'll be 10. She's going to go 4 to, yeah, about 11.
I usually gauge it as 5th graders are usually 10 years old.
Okay, so that's right. To 11. So we go 11. And I'm 46 minus that. That's 35 years ago, Chris. California was still in a water issue back then. So what they told us at Camp Keep, if it's yellow, let it mellow.
Yep.
If it's brown, flush it down. I don't know what Disney started issuing or doing. I didn't read that how do you run a place with that size of a population without bathrooms?
It's impossible. There's no way. With the pure amount of people that come in and out of that place.
I mean, every time I go into a bathroom, there's people in there.
Right.
I was there last Thursday. In some restrooms, I had to wait for a stall. And you couldn't leave and go to downtown Disney and go, oh, I'll just go use the bathroom at downtown Disney. Nope, those weren't working either. I'll just go back to my hotel. Well, depending on what hotel you stayed in, probably didn't have one there either. What do you Dude,
People jumping in the water right there next to Frontierland.
you know, somebody did that when the day I was there. A worker jumped into the rivers of America.
Really?
Video surfaced, and there was like this viral video where the worker, it got so hot at Disneyland, a worker jumped into the rivers of America. Well, it turns out the story, because there's always more to the story.
Naturally.
It was his last day, I guess. He had already turned in his 2-week notice.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, he was like, "This is my last day. I might as well go out. I'm gonna go out style."
My last day working at Disneyland, I would be doing everything I'm not supposed to.
Everything.
Everything.
He jumped in the rivers of America. Better than the kid that jumped out of the
Tiana.
Yeah, Tiana's right.
Splash Mountain.
Or I guess he did better than the kid that was cliff diving in San Diego. Did you see that kid? He landed right on the rocks. Blah, and then flopped in the water. And then his friends jumped in after him. You dummies. And then more teenagers, as they would do, go, well, I'm sure I can make it. Big dummies. Big dummies. We'll talk to Jim Wheeler next with Flood Ministries. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be back.
New in Washington. The Federal Reserve left its key interest rate unchanged today, despite persistently high inflation and a spike in energy prices brought on by the war with Iran. Funeral services wrapped up today for the late U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. Part of that took place yesterday. That stretched over a 2-day span. It began in Washington yesterday, and he was laid to rest in a final service today in South Carolina. Dr. Anthony Fauci today invoking the Fifth Amendment and declining to answer questions from senators in a Republican-led committee hearing about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He's been accused of being dishonest about the virus at the time, a charge that he totally denies. On Wall Street, it was a rough session. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost about 1,153 points. The Nasdaq was down 433. The S&P 500 down by 112. This is SRN News.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them.
Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. People who live in the Caliente area who have been told to evacuate because of the fish fire still have those evacuation warrants in effect. That fire has now burned 3,500 acres, and firefighters say they are having a tough time with it because of steep terrain. They had been fighting it manually and also using helicopters to try and get the fire contained, and say it is now about 15% contained. The person whose skeletal remains were found buried in a shallow grave in a vineyard near Arvin in 1978 has been identified as 15-year-old Michelle Louise Collier of Fresno. That was announced Tuesday in a press conference by the Kern County Sheriff's Office. She was ID'd with DNA that was taken when her body was exhumed nearly 20 years ago. Officers still have no idea who killed her or why. I'm Chris Davis in the K.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. Check us out online, kernradio.com. Download the Kern Radio app to your smart device. Take us for the rest of the summer wherever you go. And then you can also watch us streaming on YouTube right there. Just go to YouTube, search up Kern Radio, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you can watch us from the Kern Radio studios. Those studios are powered by Adaptive Networks. For your IT needs, call them 661-241-0638. That's 661-241-0638. It is Adaptive Networks. And if you are watching, I forgot to tell my guests, hey, we're live on YouTube now, so just be prepared. But we have Jim Wheeler in studio. He is the executive director over at Flood Ministries. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you, JR. Good afternoon to you. I always appreciate the opportunity to come and talk about my favorite subject.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I feel like we've had these conversations going back a good side of at least 4 or 5 years
or more. Yeah.
You know, when I was working on the Richard Bean show, and you would come in there, and we'd have those discussions, and so I always feel like I know if I'm going to talk to people about this topic that I know these people, I've known them for a good part of time, and I can have open and honest conversations with them. So I always appreciate you coming in, sir.
Yeah, I might have been irritated at you a time or two, but you always allow. We have a great conversation, and that's how it should be, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. For those that don't know what Flood Ministries is or what you guys do, take a moment to explain who you guys are.
Yeah, so we're celebrating our 20th anniversary in September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if I could get a free plug-in, we're still looking for sponsors. You can go to floodbaco.com. So I hope I don't get charged for that free airtime. But we've been doing what we're doing for 20 years. Our focus has been on street outreach. We're on the front lines, right? I tell people all the time that if somebody goes into a shelter or goes into housing, it's because probably Flood was dealing with them at the very beginning. We triage. We try to get people connected to resources. We're the primary referring agent for the shelter. So if somebody's in the shelter, probably 90% of the people in the shelters were placed there by Flood Ministries. And so we do that, and we do housing and case management. And then also we have some programs in the outlying areas. We were in Delano, we're not there anymore, but we're in Kern River Valley and Arvin. We have a drop-in center where people can come, get a shower, do laundry, get a meal, and then we work on getting them off the street. I mean, that's our goal. Our goal is not just to provide resources to people, although, we want to give a cup of cold water in Jesus' name, right? But it is to help people change their life, right? Our tagline is ending homelessness, transforming lives. And so we're not doing our job unless people's lives are changed and people's lives are bettered, and that we're making a difference in moving people that are unsheltered on the street into some kind of stable housing situation.
Yeah. And we've talked about it before. Yeah. And like you say, we're not just giving somebody a cup of water. Yeah, we're doing that in the name of Jesus, but you're also building trust with that person, because we've talked about, it takes how many contacts before somebody actually starts to be able to trust and talk to you about something.
Absolutely. We're building that rapport. And the one reason that Flood is so good at that is because we like to hire people who are formerly homeless and who their lives have been transformed and changed. And so they're able to understand where people are coming from and talk the talk with them and to build that rapport. And I think we do a really good job of that. We're not perfect by any means, and some people don't care for us, but we like I said, we try to keep our head down, do our job, and make a difference where we can.
Yeah, and you guys are out in the streets every single day. Every single day. So if anybody knows what's going on out there, it's your teams, because you see it firsthand.
We responded to 10,000 community referrals in 2025. If you think about that, that's people calling in, people coming to our website to ask for help, people using our referral line. We get referrals from elected officials and city and county staff members and from our other partners. And there was over 10,000 referrals last year we responded to.
Wow. Yeah. And I was looking at they just had a meeting yesterday afternoon, the Homeless and Housing Committee. Mm-hmm. And I know that you guys had a representative there who spoke on those kinds of things and doing that kind of work and the referrals and stuff. And at least from the numbers and the stuff that I took away, it seems like we don't have enough beds.
Well,
because a lot of those referrals were turned away because there wasn't any space.
So that's one of the myths. I got banned. My wife banned me from social media this weekend because I was reading all of the people who were the so-called experts on homelessness, and they can point a finger, but they really don't have a real solution to what needs to be done. And one of the things I see all the time is, well, the shelters aren't full. Well, that's not true. We have a 90. I was just looking at the numbers for Brundage Lane Navigation Center for April and May. They were at 90% capacity, 98% capacity in those 2 months. And we have a shelter coordinator. So if people come to our office or we get referrals, our shelter coordinator will call the various shelters and say, how many beds do you have available? And if we're lucky, we get 5 to 10 available beds a day. So we have literally hundreds of people or hundreds of inquiries for people to go to shelter during a month that can't go because there's not a shelter bed available.
So, and that's happening every month. I saw the stats. I think it was April and May. Right. And you're looking at over 500 one month and just under 500 in another month. Yeah. Are these the same individuals, or are these new individuals each month?
No, so that's a good question, because that some of those numbers are unduplicated. That means that there could be the same person more than once, and some are deduplicated. That means that those are unique individuals. Mm-hmm. And so the 500, I think it was 507 or something like that. I don't remember the exact number for one of the previous months. There were 65% of those people that were first-time unique individuals, and the rest of those were maybe the same individual more than once. And like you said before, it takes time to build the rapport, right? And somebody did a study, I don't know where it came from, but that number 17 gets thrown around all the time, about 17. It takes 17 engagements or contacts to get a person to build trust so that they're willing to accept services. And, sometimes it doesn't take 17, sometimes it takes 1, right. Sometimes it takes 5, sometimes 10, and sometimes more than that, right? And so that's why we're out there every day doing what we're doing, because we want to, who knows when that person is going to say enough. On our website, we get people asking for help on our website every single day. I see those when they come through, and there are people. I'm not exaggerating. Every week there's somebody that says, "I'm tired. I'm tired of being on the street. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to get help. Can you guys help me?" Or I've been living in my car and I just don't want to do this anymore. Can you help us? And so that happens. People do want help, and the ones that want help, we want to make sure there are resources available, so that when they want to get the help, that we can have a place for them to go, right?
And I guess that leads to my next question are the people that are in the beds currently, because we talk about how they're 98 capacity. I mean, you call, whether it's Brundage Lane Navigation, whether it's M Street, whether it's one of the other many smaller shelters that we have throughout the community, and you can only maybe get 1 or 2, and you can get 10 placed in a month. Are the people that are currently in those beds, and I hate to pin it like this, but are those the most deserving? Are those the people that truly should be utilizing those beds to get that? You know what I mean? Because there's people that'll take up a bed and rotate it in and out like a revolving door, and it's just like, oh well, I can go over there, get a meal, and then I'm just going to go back on the streets, do whatever I want to do. I don't have to meet a certain standard, a barrier, low barrier shelter, hence is the name, to be able to get a bed in there.
Yeah.
How much of that is happening?
Well, so it's a philosophical.
And I know you don't run the Mercy House or any of these shelters, so you can't speak for them. You can only speak for.
But all of the shelters keep track, or I think most of the shelters do anyway, keep track of length of stay, LOS, length of stay. We collect, as you saw from the meeting yesterday.
Oh yeah, there's data.
There's a lot of data that we collect, and it changes all the time. The county and the city and others are always asking us for new data based on new issues that come up, and so we try to be flexible to find a way to provide the data and collect it, so that we collect a lot of data. And one of the areas one of the data points that's collected is length of stay. So you do have people that are in the shelter for a long period of time, and I don't believe that we should be warehousing people, but those people they have the highest severity of need, and they probably are the hardest people to find a place to live. So what do you do? And I'm not. What do you do with somebody that as on the sexual predator list? Right. What if they come out of prison and they need a place to stay, Do you want them on the street? I don't want them on the street. I'd rather have them someplace where we know where they're at,
A
right?
lot of people say, not in my neighborhood.
Right,
either.
but
Yeah,
and I
don't want
get
them
that.
anywhere, yeah.
I understand that. My point is that if so, they go to the shelter. How it takes time for us because of the NIMBY and because of everything else, public concern, which is very legitimate. I'm not minimizing that in a way. Where are they going to go, right?
Yeah,
so maybe they're stuck in a shelter for a year or two until they can find a place for them to go. I'm just using that as an example of why a bed may be used for a long period of time, because it just takes a lot of work. And Mercy House and all of our shelter partners, we place everybody in open door. We have families that come on a regular basis that want to go into a shelter, but there's no family shelter beds. I'm so excited that
For the open door networks.
the new facility is going to open. We have a great relationship with them. And so the family comes and they have, we've had families with 6 children. What are you going to do? So we end up putting them in a motel, and we case manage them and follow up with them and watch them until the open door will call us and say, hey, we have a family room, a bed, and so those are the kind of things that we deal with and getting people placed into the shelters. And there are people that rotate in and out of the shelters. And that's why we have a variety of different types of shelters, so we have the Mission, which is more of a, 3 hots and a cot. And Carlos, I love you. I don't mean to, I'm not a pun, because they have a great program, and they graduate people out into their discipleship program, and they make a big difference. I'm just saying that program is designed a little different than the Brundage Lane Navigation Center might be designed. That's my only point.
And opposed to what M Street is designed as to be, or open door and the people that they intake. And so it just, I guess we just don't have enough beds still. And it pains me to say that, because I think about, okay, we built Brundage Lane Navigation Center, 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago now. We started talking about this and getting it up, and I just wonder, are we doing enough? Because we've built up beds, and we continue to still see the numbers either grow or stay static. There's never that, we've made a dent, we've made an impact. Is what we're doing enough, or is what we're doing, some of it, the right things?
Well, see, this is what frustrates me about the people that talk about the homeless industrial complex, and they point the finger that this isn't working or that isn't working, or people are getting rich off of that. So take Flood, for example. We do what we do because we're on the front end of the process, right? But if you want somebody who's unsheltered and on the street making a mess or in an encampment or whatever they're doing, you want them off the street, there has to be some place on the back end for them to go. So we have this system where we'll get until there's a more permanent place for them to go. Sometimes that could be jail, sometimes, but hopefully that's some kind of supportive service housing, right?
Oh yeah.
Then they go to the shelter, and then the shelter gets impacted. And so this is what frustrates me about all the issue with the Ram Kabir, right?
Right.
Okay, so.
Well, let's take a break.
Because I have a thought. I have thoughts about that.
I'm sure you do, and that's been the biggest topic, I think, lately. At least with the one that's made the headline is the funding that we're getting, this $14 million to convert 38 hotel rooms into 30 permanent housing solutions, 15 of which are those for veterans, which always tugs at the heartstrings. Jim. I'm just, you use those veterans, and you guys, it's hard to say no. I'm just saying, but it is a lot of money.
Yeah, and Flood is not involved in that project, other than we'll be a part of the process to help people go into
referring people to that. We'll get your thoughts on that and a couple of other things. More with Jim Wheeler. He is the executive director of Flood Ministries. We're discussing homelessness. Does Kern County, Bakersfield have enough beds? Are we doing enough? We'll try to at least answer some of those questions, or discuss them openly anyways. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN, The Ralph Bailey Show. an American General Media station.
Keith Peters in Washington. Dr. Anthony Fauci will face a contempt of Congress vote in a Senate committee next week after he invoked the Fifth Amendment in a hearing about his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fauci says Chairman Rand Paul has an obvious obsession with calling for my prosecution.
The only conclusion I can reach is that the sole reason he is calling me before this committee is to get me to say something, anything that could vindicate his repeated public pledges that I end up, in his words, quote, behind bars, unquote.
In Wednesday's hearing, Fauci declined to answer dozens of questions from senators. At the Columbia, South Carolina funeral for Senator Lindsey Graham today, former House Representative Trey Gowdy disputed the notion that Graham never met a war he didn't like and that the senator went to Ukraine before his death for a good reason.
Was he willing to go to war? Yes, as a last resort. Blessed are the peacemakers. He was on a trip, what turned out to be his last trip, trying to broker peace in a war where hundreds of thousands of people have lost their lives.
The senator died suddenly on July 11th in Washington, likely from an aortic tear. He was 71. The Federal Reserve left its key interest rate unchanged Wednesday despite persistently high inflation and a spike in energy prices caused by the Iran war. The Fed's rate-setting committee reached the 9-3 decision after 2 days of deliberations, marking the fifth straight meeting at which the benchmark rate was kept at around 3.6%. Wall Street didn't like what it heard. The Dow was down by 1,153 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What if everything you thought you knew about online exploitation was only the surface? The shocking docuseries, Sexploited, rips the veil off the digital darkness, destroying lives. You'll be stunned by what's uncovered in these real stories. Watch the trailers, if you dare. Once you see it, you'll understand why silence is no longer an option. Visit salemnow.com and watch Sexploited in America. And visit sexploitedfilm.com.
Hey, I'm Willie Robertson.
And I'm Corey Robertson.
We partnered with Echo. It's a new platform, not just streaming.
Movies and series that are safe for your family. I love a podcast.
Plus, Echo Daily Devotionals.
Echo.
Hey, Willie, what is Echo?
Echo is my pet squirrel. Okay, now, Echo is not just faith-friendly, it is faith-driven.
Be a part of something better.
Echo.
Echo.
Where I want to be.
That's EKKL.com.
Subscribe now.
Citing national security risks, the Federal Communications Commission.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The evacuation warnings are over, but the fire burns still. I'm Chris Davis. The fish fire has been tough for Kern County firefighters to get a handle on, and one of the reasons is because of the steep terrain where the fire is located near Caliente. Right now, it is about 37% contained and has burned 4,200 acres since it started about noon Monday. The Kern County Fire Department says the evacuation orders that were in place for people in the Caliente area have been lifted. To help solve the problem of the steep hills, firefighters have been using helicopters to try and douse the fire. Copper wire theft has long been a problem in this area, and now the Kern County Sheriff's Office says they arrested someone who they believe stole a lot of wire from a farming company in Lamont. They say 29-year-old Rodrigo Garcia was caught red-handed trying to unload some copper wire at Lopez Recycling and Wrecking Yard. He has been charged with grand theft, possession of stolen copper wire, vandalism, and drug possession. And speaking of vandalism, just because you don't like the flock cameras does not mean that you get to destroy them. 40-year-old Marcus B. of Pismo Beach is under arrest after authorities say that he drove to Monterey County and destroyed at least 3 flock cameras, ramming them with his truck in Lockwood and Bradley. He also, according to the report, destroyed some license plate readers. The reason that police believe it was him, he was caught on surveillance video. None of the sewer rate increases for county residents passed at Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting. That happened after extensive discussion about the rate increases in Bakersfield that many people who live in the city and even county supervisors consider unfair. When the vote was taken, there simply were not enough votes to pass rate increases for now, which would be substantially less than the increases for the city. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Please.
Flores, time is up. Thank you very much.
I had 3 more seconds and I had the whole thing. I was supposed to have 3 minutes.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
It's the JR Show. From Studio 99 at the American General Media Complex, here is your host, JR.
Welcome back. It's the second hour of the show. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. Check us out online, kernradio.com. Download the Kern Radio app to take us on the rest of your summer vacations. I might try to sneak in 1 or 2 days next week. We'll see how that works out as the kids are set to go back to school in 2 weeks from today. I hope all you parents are ready out there. I know I am, although I enjoyed spending a lot of summer with my daughter. It's time. It's time to get back into a routine. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look up Kern Radio and streaming live on YouTube. If you go over there right now, just search up Kern Radio, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you can watch us from the Kern Radio studios. Our studios are powered by Adaptive Networks. For your IT needs, call them 661-241-0638. That's 661-241-0638. It is Adaptive Networks. Our numbers to call in here, 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. You can call in or text at any time. Do we have anything on the text board, sir, before we go any further in the show?
Just one says, JR, on the homeless
Yes.
issue, can you force them to a shelter? Can you keep them from disturbing others and protect other homeless that want a bed to sleep in? Can you keep them from trashing the facilities? 3 separate questions, obviously.
I don't think you can force, and unfortunately, anybody into receiving services at all. Like you can't forcibly pick somebody up off of the streets and force them to go into a shelter. Like you just can't. So no, that was the first question, right? Can you force anybody into a shelter? No, I don't think. I know there used to be, and I know that they're working on. Or that's what Prop 1 was supposed to do, or something like that, where we're supposed to be able to offer these, at least the criminal element on the streets, those that are breaking the law, an option of going to jail or getting help. And I think it's desperately needed. I think you can get a lot of people off of drugs that way. Because am I crazy to think that public intoxication is still illegal? Am I crazy to think that doing illegal drugs out in the open on the streets is illegal? Am I the only one that still thinks those are a thing, right? We haven't done away with those things. It's not like jaywalking where it was like, well, we'll just do away with it since, what was it? It was, that's right. It was racist. Stopping people from for jaywalking was racist, they said. Cops were using that to stop black kids from when they were crossing the street to harass them. That was the reason we got rid of jaywalking. Instead of, I don't know, teaching young black youth how to cross the street properly. Might have been a good option, or teaching police officers now how to racial profile. I don't know. Maybe those would have been good options. But no, instead we just decriminalized it. And that's kind of what I feel like we've done with alcohol and drug use out on the streets, that it's like, if we don't make it a crime, technically they're not doing anything wrong. And we've started to at least kind of move away from that and getting some care courts that used to be in place, that used to be able to offer those kinds of people options of, hey, look, you can go to jail or you can go to rehab. And I was talking with Jim Wheeler. We need different kinds of beds. So when you hear me say, like I just got done saying in the last segment, because it's hard for me to say that, we need more beds in Kern County. Now, I'll also finish that up with, we need the right types of beds. We don't just need more beds. We don't just need more homeless shelters. We don't need more beds, I believe, at Brundage Lane Navigation Center. I believe there's people in those beds that could be moved into different kinds of beds to help them get the services that they need. If somebody's dealing with mental health issues, get that person into a bed. You have an option. I'm not saying we can make it illegal to be crazy on the streets, but at some point we have to go, if you become a harm to society, you definitely need to be removed. And at some point, we have to start looking at it as compassion and going, if you are harming yourself at this point, we need to get you the help. And I'm not saying just locking people up in state hospitals. I mean, truly getting them help. If we're going to throw $15 million at something, I would much rather go, you know what? Let's throw $15 million into a mental facility where I know there's going to be some beds there for some people that should definitely be off the streets. If we're going to throw $15 million, $14 million around, what about some rehab beds for those on drugs and alcohol? Some detox beds. We're going to throw $14 million around. Hell, as a state, if we're going to throw $100 million around, why aren't we throwing money? Why isn't that $14 million going towards the city jails? Hell, that's what I was told it was going to cost. Hell, I was told when Bob Smith, I need to get reelected, so I need to do something. I started the jail bed task force, promised, said we'll have jail beds by the end of summer. Where are we at? Not going to pan out for your reelection there, Bob. I don't think you're getting those jail beds as a victory for you to go and tout as something that you've accomplished in the city for a reelection. So yeah, when I say we need more beds, what I really mean is we need the right kinds of beds. We need more detox beds. We need more mental health facility beds. And yes, we need jail beds. And that's just the facts, and that's just the reality. I stood in front of the city council back in 2019 when they wanted to build this Brundage Lane Navigation Center. And I tried to tell them then. They cut me off. That's why you hear in the intro of the show, the mayor yelling at me, "Sir, your time is up." What did she say? Mr. Flores. Mr. Flores. I loved it.
3 minutes.
Supposed to have 3 minutes. That whole thing. You can hear Ralph in the background. Most people don't realize that. That's Ralph in the background. Ralph is sitting in the audience that day. I didn't even have my own show at that time. I think we did the Ralph's show live from the steps of City Hall that day, because that meeting was such a big deal for the Brundage Lane Navigation Center. Hundreds of people showed up. We broadcasted Ralph's show live that day, and I had written a speech and spent all day. 3 minutes? I got this. I'm a producer. I know what 3 minutes looks like. Wrote this perfect, beautiful speech, 3 minutes long. We all sit down. There's so many of you speaking. We're going to cut the time to 2 minutes. What? That's why they hear me and the mayor in the intro of the show going back and forth with the, "Sir, your time is up." I was supposed to have 3 minutes, but I was standing there then, back in September of 2019, almost, oh my gosh, almost 7 years ago. And I explained to them then, hell, we can pull up the tape of the speech. I can go run down the hall and print it out and read it back to you. What you're dealing with here isn't a homeless issue. You are dealing with a mental health and drug epidemic. And the only solutions that we have come up with is we need more affordable housing. We need more beds. We need more shelter beds. That's the only thing we've gotten. It saddens me that 7 years ago, I stood there and said, this is the issue. Hell, I'm a little poor brown boy from the south side of Bakersfield, and I can see what the problem is. I'm living it. I walk out of my apartment every single day. I open my garage and I see it. So when we talk about, and I hear these meetings of, well, these people are getting turned away. We have 400 right here, unable to place in the month of May, 700, no space available, 684. In the month of April, 629 unable to place, no space available for 626 of them. We just added, 300 beds to Brundage Lane Navigation Center? We can't just continue to house people. Yes, some of those people are getting help. I will acknowledge that. I applaud that. I want people to get help. I want all of the people to get help, not just end up in a bed or a shelter or affordable housing or some hotel room somewhere. I mean, real help. Whether that be financial help, whether that be mental health help, whether that be drug and alcohol or addiction help, or whether that means your behind needs to go to jail. And it's sad that we're in 2026 and we still aren't even acknowledging all these things. Or we're acknowledging it, but we're still doing very, very little on those fronts. And so that's where I go into are the right people in these beds? Are the right people? Brundage Lane Navigation Center could probably be even more successful if we had people in beds that deserved those beds. And I'm sorry that I have to, and you know what? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. Do you know a movie that's from? You know who that is? Do you know what line that is and who says that line? Pee Wee Herman. Do you know that? Pee Wee Herman. I'm not sorry. It's a Cheech and Chong movie, but it's probably not the Pee Wee Herman you're used to, but still Pee Wee Herman. Paul Rubin. Let's go ahead and take a break. On the other side, we'll see if you guys are still commenting. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KERN if you want to call in or text. Other things to speak about, especially here locally. Vehicle thefts are down. I'll give you, it sounds good. The headline sounds great, right? Vehicle thefts down by 31%. When I tell you how many vehicles are still being stolen every year, you're going to say, wow. The fact that we reduced that by 31% and that's still the amount of cars being stolen? Goodness gracious. But didn't stop the governor from taking victory laps and saying, and it's because of my efforts and the CHP that we've accomplished this. I'll explain, as he also tries to explain the affair that he had with his former campaign manager's wife at the time. Yeah, he was single. The Governor Gavin Newsom at the time was single. but he still had an affair with somebody else's wife. Will that be enough to derail his presidential campaign? And other things going on around here and the state. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Maxwell in the morning. Good till the last mic drop.
Federal appeals court ruled the New Jersey's assault weapon
scared to
law
eat these
barring
snacks.
possession of a semi-automatic rifle is unconstitutional.
Like, I don't want to put my hand in
The first time
here.
a federal appeals court has ruled that a
I don't know who else
state's
put their
assault weapons
hand in
ban violated the U.S. Constitution's Second Amendment. So this could be a huge one for here in California. Things could be changing for us gun owners.
Weekdays 9 to noon, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Oh, it's already Wednesday, which means I can get to the stockyard even sooner. Where's the stockyard? What is the stockyard, you ask? Well, it's a little speakeasy right next to Casey's Steakhouse, 2525 F Street. You wouldn't even know it's there. You're going to see some ropes. You're going to see a carpet. Walk up to the door, ring the doorbell. When they ask you what's the password, tell them, why not JR? They're going to let you in. You're going to walk into one of the finest establishments, not only in Bakersfield, not only in Kern County, but probably all of California. It's like you walk into a time travel. They take you back to the days of Speak Easy. Come on in. You can get appetizers off the menu from Casey's Steakhouse if you're hungry. Have a drink with Haley. Heck, I'll be in there this weekend. They also got live music going. And if you're looking to host a party, they got a banquet room. Maybe you got a birthday, a bridal shower. Get a hold of them over at the Stockyard, 2525 F Street, open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. to close. Come hang out with me and Haley. It's the Stockyard.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you got to call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-1509, 800-555-1509, or biglou.com.
Paid for by Term Provider. Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox program, heard right here on KERN 6 to 9 every morning. You're listening to the JR Show. Join me tomorrow morning, 6 to 9, right here on KERN.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. You can chime in at any time, 661-842-5376. Was that the only text message we had up there, or is there another one?
Now I have a couple more.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see what we got.
In the 80s, the ACLU sued California for the insane. The ACLU said it's unconstitutional to force the insane into an insane asylum. Then then we don't put drug abused, not criminal. Results, we have a bad homeless problem.
The ACLU sued California. Yes, we can't, and that's what I said last night. You can't force people into help. And there was a big problem with the state hospitals. Let's not pretend that there wasn't. You know what I mean? And that's the bad rub about it, is people get this this bad feeling about state hospitals because of the way they think they were run back then. And that's not even what I'm talking about. I don't want just people drugged up all day roaming around, and you know what I mean? I want to see if we can really help people. And heck, if it is in a state hospital like that, and if it is, where they're drugged half the time, isn't that better? I know that's a tough question to ask, but do you think being drugged up and sitting in some chair in a state hospital, staring out the window blank, is better than what happened to the lady? I can't remember where it was at, but again, Kern County activities. Some lady died the other day, naked, on the street. Before that, they were getting video of her half naked, running around. Before that, they were getting video of her defecating on the corner. That's crazy. That's being insane. That's no longer being able to take care of yourself. And so there's got to be an answer of what do we do with it? Because again, I think that's the majority of who we're talking about. Is that not right? If I see the mom and the kid, as I have, right around the corner from here, right down the street, if I see the mom and the kid out there, I want to get that person in the right place. I want that person to be able to get a bed and get help. That person, to me, isn't causing an issue for the general public, as is the case with somebody that is beyond mental capacity anymore. And I have the same compassion for that person too. I want them to get help. I want them to get into some sort of safe place. And so if we're going to bring more beds online, bring the right beds, please. But when we complain, and I think when we get most upset and when we see the most issues arise from are the mental cases that are living out on the streets. And whether or not that has to do with substance abuse, whether or not some of those people, and just facing the hard reality of it, aren't coming back. They're not. There is no coming back from some of the mental issues that we see people dealing with out on the streets. That doesn't mean we just leave them out there. And so whether or not we need to go back to the courts and go back to laws and revisit this and see how we can, and I hate to use the word force people into help, but at some point they have to be removed from society, not only for the safety of the general public, but also for the safety of themselves. A woman died naked on the streets after she was caught on video having a psychotic episode, defecating on the corner. That's not compassion. If we're going to spend the money, do it in the right way. We need transparency. That's what most of us are crying about when it comes to $14 million on 30 rooms. Is it working, and should we keep doing it? That's the question. It's the JR Show. We'll be back.
Time, Keith Peters in Washington. The Federal Reserve left its key interest rate unchanged Wednesday, despite persistently high inflation and a spike in energy prices caused by the Iran war.
So I don't know if we have the hotkey anymore, but I do have Marshawn for you.
All right.
So,
All right.
The fifth straight meeting at which the benchmark rate was kept at around 3.6%. A man has
Today's verse of the day, Romans 12:1. This is from the Geneva translation. This is pre King James, by the way. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you give up your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable serving of God. I miss the old English language. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye, and it's give is spelled Giue, and they've flipped them to where a lot of the U's and the V's are flipped, so it's Giue. Give VP, give up your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable serving of God.
And license plate readers in the Bradley and Lockwood communities. Police there say he was caught on video. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 at AM 1230 KERN.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Most people don't want more financial information, they want clarity. They want to know they're making the right moves and that someone's actually paying attention. That's what we do at MoneyWise.
I need dollar, that's what I need. Hey, well, I need dollar, that's what I need. If I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
We help you organize your financial life, plan for what's ahead, and make decisions with confidence, whether retirement is around the corner or still years away. And now you'll find us at a new place, the historic Woolworths building, right in the heart of downtown Bakersfield. A piece of local history reimagined for what's next. MoneyWise, thoughtful planning, real conversations.
yeah, 2 callers.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through LPL Financial, and MoneyWise Wealth Management are independently owned and operated.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Thursday of the First Look program, the triumphant return of Dr. Corey Gonzalez, and let's be honest, it mostly means burritos, but also some form of mental health care. We will have news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Central Valley remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey. You're listening to the JR Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN. Keep it locked. TRBS coming up at 3.
That's what I want. That's what I want, Chris. Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. Download the Kern Radio app to your smart device and take us on the rest of your summer vacations. And find us streaming live on YouTube. Head over there right now. Search up Kern Radio. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And watch us from the Kern Radio studios. Our studios are powered by Adaptive Networks.
Call them for your IT needs, 661-241-0638. That's 661-241-0638. It's Adaptive Network. Sorry, I was watching the body cam footage of the Tony Romo alleged DUI. Operating while intoxicated. Is that what it is? Well, what was he driving? A golf cart? Oh, they just call it. Well, they've apparently released the new video. It's body cam footage of not only him getting pulled over, but running through, I guess, the series of sobriety tests. I haven't got to watch them. I'm just seeing them now for the first time on the TV behind Chris. Are they pretty good? Yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, of course. He's one of the best as far as play-by-play guys, because he'll call out a play before the teams even do it. He's notorious for that. Just let it die down. Let everybody sober up. See what huh?
More drunk than he's actually talking or acting. But when you see the sobriety test that they give him, he's stretching before.
Well, he's an athlete, Chris. You gotta stretch first, especially at his age. You know, you don't want to hurt yourself. Can I just call my lawyer now, please? Oh, I don't know. Ooh. She was, go ahead, say it. She knew who she was dealing with. She knew who she was dealing with, maybe. Right.
And when she initially tells him, "Hey, get out of the car. I want to do a field sobriety," he doesn't necessarily say no, but he kind of ignores her for a while, and she just kind of
like he's thinking about it. He's like, "Oh man, how can I get out of this?" We would have got yanked out of the car. Can I speak to my lawyer first? I think he does actually have the right to. I don't know. That's a good question.
From what I understand, from what Brand Dizzle just told me, the new information that came out today is she saw an open bottle in the car in the passenger seat.
Open container. There it is, open container. Did he do the Jagles and say, "I'm deuces"? No, he didn't. He's really what? Did they get a blood alcohol content? Did they breathalyzer? Draw blood or anything? Nothing? He got arrested. Yeah. Well, then if he has a good lawyer like the Madison Williams lawyer, Chris, he can say, well, my client wasn't that intoxicated at the time. You see, the time that it took from the time you pulled him over to the time you took him into this facility to do the sobriety test, that's when he got drunk. He wasn't drunk yet when he was driving. Yeah, he got drunk while he was intoxicated while he was in your view. Or if he's really good, like Ed Jagles. No, I'm just kidding. But Ed Jagles did also, speaking of DUIs, end up in court. Well, he didn't end up in court. He didn't even go to court yesterday. He didn't even have his lawyer show up in court. He had a representative for his lawyer for him show up in court. When you know you're the man, when you say Jagles was not present, but defense attorney David Faulkner appeared for Jagles' attorney, Robert Carbone. Yeah, so Not only did Jagels not show up, but his lawyer didn't even show up. His lawyer had somebody show up for him. But we found out through court documents that Mr. Jagels blew a .153 that evening. Or at least that's what the blood alcohol content is coming back. I don't know if it was a breathalyzer because he couldn't get through the breathalyzer. Remember that evening of, what was it? Back on June 1st, about 4:30 in the evening, Mr. Jagels driving his 2018 Model X Tesla. Witnesses apparently, allegedly, said they saw a man sleeping at the intersection of Stockdale and Coffee, only to be pulled over down the road, Stockdale more, by police officers, in which he was finally pulled out of the vehicle, sprawled out on the lawn, allegedly. That's why I was yelling at the beginning when they were showing the Romo tape. I said, I want the tapes. I want the Jagels tapes. Not for anything other than entertainment purposes, really. Let's just be honest. There's nothing. I mean, the dude was drunk. Allegedly had a .15 blood alcohol content. He knew he was wasted. He practically admitted it when he said, I guess I'm deuces, because that's slang for DUI or something with them. Never been in a DUI situation, so I wouldn't know. And hope to knock on wood. I wouldn't even, as Tony Romo sees plays happening, how he did not see that happening. There's no reason to ever drive drunk these days. No reason to ever drive drunk these days. Sorry, I got distracted by Tony Romo, and it made me think of the Jagels tapes and how I need to put in that Freedom of Information Act. So, again, just for entertainment purposes. That's it. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Nothing else but that. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN. We have phone calls, sir. Who do you got? Jerry, you're on the JR show. What's on your mind, sir? Oh, I just got back from vacation, day 3. I'm still settling in. I haven't begun to hate this place just yet, Jerry. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah. Certainly, if they had let us get to it. We'll get on. If Andre agrees to come back in, we'll do a nice sit down with Mr. Gonzalez. I promise. Oh yeah, I want to give him the opportunity to speak. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Wheeler, he's been doing it for a while now, and like I said, those guys are on the out in the field, like meeting people where they are at and doing their best just to get them into services and providers. I applaud his work. You know what I mean? The front lines. I think where some of the issue comes is with some of the providers and transparency and seeing what works and what's not working and where we're spending. I'm okay with spending money, Jerry. And that's what people kind of look at me like, oh, it's not so much the money that we're spending. I'd be okay with spending the money if we got the results. That's the issue, is we're not getting results. And so we're asking for this transparency. We're asking for audits and seeing, okay, where is this money going? And what's our return on investment here? Is it actually working? Because I'm okay with spending $14 million. It's just on the right things is all. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely not, and they just walk in and out of traffic, especially the ones that are, like we said, mental issues and drug or alcohol issues. They just walk in and out of traffic. I saw a guy yesterday standing in the middle of the crosswalk, just in the middle of the road and not moving, just like looking at traffic, and it just people are having to dodge him, and it just those are the people that we need to get off the streets. Those are the ones that I say cause us citizens, everyday citizens, to go, what's wrong? Why isn't anything changing? You know? Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you listening, sir. Have a good day, man. Thank you. And again, Jim Willer and his crew do a great job. That the issue is, again, providers and making sure that what they're doing is correct, and it's stopping the what are we doing to stop the inflow into homelessness? I think during the break, Jim Willer and I spoke about how for every person that is taken off of the streets, 3 more still are coming in. We're still losing. I've since 2019. I hate saying it. 7 years ago almost. I've always described it as this for the past 7 years. Here's how we have tried to solve the homeless problem. We're in a boat. Just follow me for this analogy. We're in a boat. We're all in the boat together. There's a hole in the boat, and water starts coming in the boat. And we're all looking around like, man, we got to do something. There's water coming in the boat. And so the leaders of the boat, the captains, decided to buy fancy silver-plated, gold-plated teaspoons. Passed them out to a couple people and said, hey, can you guys start, getting some of this water out of the boat? Meanwhile, the hole in the boat is not getting fixed. It's not getting repaired. The water is continuing to flow inside of the boat. And the fancy little teaspoons that we have purchased aren't even making a dent. At some point, we have to stop. Look at what we're doing. Figure out what's working. Put more into that. Figure out what's not working and stop doing that. It's very simple. If some poor Mexican boy from the south side of Bakersfield can figure it out, I hope somebody else up there can. Do we have another caller, sir? 661-842-5376. Let's squeeze them in before you got to the break. Who you got? Jennifer, you're on the JR show. Good afternoon, madam. How are you?
I'm okay. I need to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
So I can make my comment.
Okay.
Is this a county affair or a city affair? Where is the funding coming from?
For which one? Which one are you talking about?
Okay, let's say the one that's up on Union.
The one on Union that everybody's up in arms, the $14 million for 30 hotel rooms. That is coming. Well, the city purchased the lot, the property a couple of years ago. So that was city money. The funding, the $14 million that's coming in to renovate it and to help supply or help fund some of the services is a state grant.
Dilapidated, unused, vacant for a long time.
I asked the question yesterday, Jennifer, if now that because our favorite city councilman said, well, $10 million has to go to be able to, bring this building up to where we need it. And I asked the question, how much did we spend on this property and why did we spend that much if it's that dilapidated? If it's that bad, why would we spend that much on it?
Question number 2.
Okay.
Why wouldn't we demo it
and start from the ground up. Thank gosh, Jennifer. Jennifer, what ward do you live in? Can you run for office? The window's still open. Tell him.
It's just ludicrous. You could probably, by moving things down and around, you could probably make the room smaller because this is supposed to be a temporary situation, not a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And have, things
I lost.
there where maybe off-duty law enforcement or someone that could be there to, check things out. I don't know. But I do know that, as you were saying earlier, this is a problem that continues, and it's not getting any better. And I moved here to Bakersfield 12 years ago. This is a really nice town.
Yeah. The people are still good, but the people are good, but the community, the look of the community is really fading.
We used to go to the hotel.
Oh yeah.
Take my grandson there from the time he was little. Well, about 4 or 5 years ago, we were there, and I heard my grandson say, "Grandma, there's a guy outside the window peeing on it."
Oh gosh.
Oh, okay. You cannot go down there. It's like a magic wand changes when you go over the freeway and you get over on the other side.
Yeah.
It's disgustingly different. And I see disgustingly because it's warping humanity, warping the people that are living that lifestyle, and it's warping the people that have to witness it, especially children like your daughter.
Yeah, and like your grandson. And it's my daughter used to have a heart for these people, Jennifer. It saddens me because she used to really she turned my heart for a while, like, Dad, we have to help this person. We have to help that person. And as she got older, I don't know what changed in her, because I definitely didn't steal that from her, but she started to see people for what they were out there and was like, that dude's kind of scary. Well, it's desensitizing them to it, Jennifer, and it's almost making it acceptable to where somebody might see that and go, well, heck, why don't I just let go and just stop paying everything and just go live on the streets?
The other thing that really bothers me about our civil service is supposed to be, helping us and taking us down the right road for our town is that there is no accountability. And I'm going to go back to that hotel. And since you always pick on one guy, we'll just take him. And no, they all deserve picking on.
They all do. Oh yeah, I know. They all do.
Sideshow Bob is not my favorite because I'm in his ward.
I like that
and
name.
The things I see, it's a sideshow because I think of the movie Best Little Whorehouse in Texas when the mayor starts singing, "Ooh, how I love to do the side step. Now you see me, now you don't." Men gone. Yeah. I get frustrated. I would love to see some kind of a meeting where these people are sitting there and saying, and like, "Oh, it's going to cost this much money." Delineate it for me. I want to know if you've gotten any bids from A, B, and C.
Yeah.
What are they saying is going to be spent on carpeting? Why would you do carpeting anyways? People are going to take leaks on the floor.
Yeah, let me get a hard breakdown of every single cost, and that's what we need. We need complete audits, and I don't think there's been one on any of the money that we've spent.
Not from what I have seen, from what little research I've done, because I figured kind of like, I know what's going on.
Yeah,
and it's demeaning. It is a very annoying. I know I'm not the only person that is disdained, upset over this, because I see my dollars being spent there where I'm not getting any type of service from my taxes. I see my taxes go up every year. I also see the homeless go up every year.
Yeah.
I see people who, I was outside of the Floyd's last night. You know where that is?
Oh yeah.
Floyd. Okay. There was water And I just stopped and I looked and took my glasses off, my sunglasses off. They had turned on the water somehow just outside of that. They were bathing.
Wow.
One guy was down to his underwear. The other girl was filling the Coke bottles full of water. And the other guy was just kind of like grooving and dancing. It was, okay, it has to be controlled. We have to have some type of process that when we see things like that, we've got to get these people off the street, first of all, because who knows all of a sudden if Fred Astaire is going to run across the street.
Yeah. There has to be solutions. And like I said, if we have to go back to the courts, if we have to go back to up in Sacramento and change things, that's what we need to do. That's the only way. We have to force some of these people. Like I said, I'm okay with more beds, just the right beds, Jennifer. I got to get to a break. Thank you for calling in. You're more than welcome to it anytime. I feel your pain. I promise I do. 661-842-5376. If you guys want to chime in, we'll try to get them in before the end of the show. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be back.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Hey folks, Jeff Salters here, noted barbecue guy. That's right, Bakersfield's best barbecue. And I'm here with my good friend Michael Binge. You know him as, hey folks, it's Michael Binge, noted barbecue connoisseur. So I'm going to do a little on-the-spot interview here. Michael Binge, you come here once, twice a year now. You get to come hang out. Your family's here. And every time you come, I know you always get you just a grip of barbecue. So Michael Binge, what's your favorite Salty's barbecue item?
Well, you know, bud, I have to get a bunch of food because I got a big family out here. So we always load up on family packs. Could be 2, could be 3, but then we have to get extra bread and extra sides and spicy mac and cheese and the green beans. They absolutely love that stuff. So you know what I'll be doing? I'll be doing that tomorrow night.
You can find us at 9425 Rosedale Highway or 6801 White Lane. Or if you want, you can go to saltysbbq.com and order online.
Salty's Barbecue and Catering. California Grill, Texas approved. Oh, it's good.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Gail?
When I retired, I just let all my taxes pile up. I had gotten many threatening letters. The one that said they were going to try and take my property was probably the scariest. When I found out that I owed close to $300,000, I was in total shock. It was a bad situation. I didn't know what to do.
Then Gail found tax relief advocates.
When TRA told me I was only going to owe $368, I just was in total disbelief.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Gail did and call TRA for a consultation.
I was so blessed with TRA.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-544-7357. 800-544-7357. That's 800-544-7357.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox program, heard right here on KRN 6 to 9 every morning. You're listening to the JR Show. Join me tomorrow morning, 6 to 9, right here on KERN.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. Only got about less than a minute left, so Just want to send a birthday shout out. There's Madeline Jansen, one of our favorite guests every Friday, or not every Friday, about once a month, every Friday. Her and her husband stop by. They host the greatest Bible stories, or the greatest stories ever told, a Bible family podcast for you guys to check out. They come by, but it's her birthday today. So I want to say happy birthday to Madeline Jansen. Didn't get to call her, but also a birthday shout out to a longtime listener, Allison McCarty. Happy birthday to you as well. I got to get out of here for the day. Stick around for the Ralph Bailey Show. This is the JR Show. Lily, Dad loves you.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
Peters in Washington. Iranian missiles launched at Jordan have been intercepted.
Jordan has said its military managed to intercept 5 Iranian